Do you like a fantasy series that is highly enjoyable because of the ease of reading, as well as just causes you a lot of pain because of the emotions within it? Yeah, you should read Farseer. Hello and welcome to the Ponderings of Pete. I am Pete. If you are coming here for the first time, welcome. I appreciate you showing up. Make sure to hit the like button down below if you really like this video. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, make sure to turn on notifications if you really want to see more of me. If not, you're free to do what you wish. The internet's free. If you are returning, thank you for coming back, and I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. Let's talk about Farseer, shall we? To start off, let's talk about what it is. We have 3 books in the Farseer Trilogy, because it is a trilogy. We have Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, and Assassin's Quest, which is the biggest one. This is the first trilogy in Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderlings world. There are a total of 16 books in this world, and then this is probably one of the best places to start. Live Ship Traders, which is the next series. Some people have told me that is also a good place to start. I have not actually read Live Ship Traders yet, so I couldn't tell you which is the better one. So for now, I'm recommending Farseer. Primarily, the Farseer Trilogy deals with one character, and that is Fitz. Fitz Chivalry Farseer. Fitz is a bastard. Fitz is born to a northern girl who, at about 6 years old, Fitz's grandfather on his mother's side drops him off on the prince's doorstep and says, "I really can't take another mouth to feed. You take him." Because his father is a prince. And specifically, his father is Chivalry, the king in waiting. These books tell Fitz growing up, essentially. In the first book, we have Fitz as a child. In the second book, we have Fitz as a teenager. And in the third book, we have a more fantastical look into the world, which is so great. This is told in first person, so Fitz, being an unreliable narrator, doesn't know everything about what's going on. So I think the politics are well done in the sense that they are told from the perspective of someone who doesn't understand them always. In fact, a lot of the time it feels like he doesn't understand them. Because first he's a child till about 12 or 13, and then he is a teenager from about 14 or 16 or so in Royal Assassin. When he's embroiled in the politics, you just can't help but understand that he has no idea what he's doing sometimes. That he definitely has a lot of mentor figures that are trying to help him along, but he definitely has a case of boy brain at times where he just can't see beyond his own nose. And that's one of the strengths of, I think, this series, is that Hobb did really well with showcasing Fitz's flaws, but in a realistic way. I personally could see bits of myself in Fitz, which is one reason I liked him as a character. Specifically bits of my younger selves of making stupid decisions, and just some of the things that he did. I was just like, you know what, I understand why you did that. I still think it was stupid, but like, sir, you need to stop. Fitz obviously is our main character, and he interacts with the magic in this world in fun ways. There are 2 types of magic in this world. The first is called the Wit, which is also known as beast magic, and there's a few other names that you'll uncover as the series goes on. The Wit, the beast magic, it allows people to connect with beasts. Typically, you know, a person will only bond with one beast. It is a magic that is looked down upon in the kingdom that we are in, which is the kingdom of the 6 duchies, specifically the Duchy of Buck. It is reviled. It's the equivalent of being a witch in Salem in the 18th century, I think, because of the widespread belief that if you have the wit, you eventually will become the animal that you were bonded with. It's cool to see differences between how the magic works and how it is perceived. I think a lot of books tend to brush that over in fantasy books, where you're just like, oh, the magic is perceived to work exactly how it is. Maybe there's some bad things based on the people that use it, but rarely do I see a complete misunderstanding of how a magic works to the point that it is mythologized, or it's in stories and stuff as something that feels completely different from what the magic actually does. Second magic that exists in this world is called the skill. And this skill is more, while the wit is man to beast, mind to beast, the skill is mind to mind, or man to man, or woman communication. So the skill allows multiple people to connect and telepathy over vast distances, among other things that are not well known. There's a lot of stuff about these magics that Fitz doesn't know, and by the extension the reader does not know, so we learn as he learns. Yeah, the evolution of these magics to Fitz, and the gaining of knowledge about these magics to Fitz, does play a role into the main storylines throughout the books. But a lot of these books, especially books 1 and 2, are very, very political in nature. I like the way that she did. I think if these books hadn't been first person, if they had been a third person, like a third person focused perspective on Fitz, that it would have been nice to have 1 or 2 other POVs to help overcome the cluelessness almost that you get sometimes from Fitz and show the deviousness of some of his opponents. However, that could be a double-edged sword with some of the characters. Our main antagonist, a very hated person, is Regal, who is Fitz's half-brother. We don't like Regal. We just really don't like him. He is a douchebag, a spoiled brat. I don't know what else you want to call him. But he is a great antagonist because of how much you can come to hate him in the book. And it does make sense. I think that you might get the impression sometimes, it might be easy to get the impression that, oh, he's bully for bully's sake, but he's not. I think that it's explained well enough, and you can intuit the explanation really easily about why Regal is the way he is, just based on various conversations that happened throughout the book. But I do think he is a well fleshed out villain throughout the series. So that's always great. Animal companions happen. They're there. And there definitely are. If you do not like violence visited upon animals, I wouldn't read this series, because there is some stuff that would be saddening to you. And this series has a lot of emotional ups and downs, just because of the nature of Hob really liking to beat down on her protagonist, because Fitz does go through a lot in these series, and it's just sad to see. He has brief moments of happiness, but he also just has a very hard lot in life. So you see Fitz go through a lot. He is not a Mary Sue, he's not a Gary Stu, or whatever you want to call it. So if you enjoy your characters getting beat down a lot, definitely read this series. I think that's all my thoughts for this series. I really liked it. I'm excited to continue the rest of the Realm of the Outerlings. I really like the world that Hobbs put together. Let me know if you liked this review, if you thought I could do better, if I said anything that was inaccurate, or you liked the series as well. What did you like? What didn't you like about the series? Yeah, have a great night. Make sure to get some rest. Yeah, and you're awesome. Bye.